So when you think about Streamline, I tell people think about ways to make things easier and simpler for sellers, and not just remote sellers. So many people have been focusing on remote sellers. Streamline focuses on all sellers, whether you're in-state businesses, brick and mortar businesses, or remote sellers. Our organization was put together as a partnership really with the business community and the state tax administrators, the state legislators, and trying to find ways to address the undue burdens that businesses face, that resulted in Quill and the National Bellis Hess decision saying, hey, unless they have a physical presence, you can't require them to collect our tax. So we recognized that there were some issues and some burdens that were placed on businesses if they were going to be required to collect tax, and we needed to address those. And so that was what Streamline was originally set up for, and that was what our goal was to work with the business community, understand what those concerns are, and then find solutions to it, and then ultimately resulted in the development of the Streamlined Sales and Use Tax Agreement. When we updated our registration system in 2015, 2016, my team and I, along with our member states, really asked the question, what information does a state really need to be able to register a seller? And we wanted to require, and this might sound terrible, we wanted to require as little information as possible.
Agree. Yeah. They ask so much. I mean, I joke about Pennsylvania wanting your firstborn child. I mean, it's 9 pages long. Like, how do you even know that business? Oh, is it 18? It's just long. Crazy how many questions. And then you got a tire tax and then whatever in Ohio. You're like, shoot me now. I don't know why you're asking all this, right? Like, it's onerous. It really is for the unknown. And there's a lot of that going on right now. A lot of people don't get, why are they asking this question? Do I need to answer? It's a government. Of course I should answer it. And it's like, you're kind of asking and answering things that may not be relevant to your business. So it is very challenging, I think, for the unwitting to go forward and do these registration documents.
Yeah, and from our perspective and the way we have it set up, if our member states want or they need more information, then the onus is on them to reach out to the seller and say, we would like this additional information. It's not a matter of the seller having to weave their way through every state's application. And, we knew the registration system was important, but what really stuck out to me, we had a former state tax administrator, had been very involved in Streamline, left Streamline, went to work for a private law firm. And when he went to work for them, they handle sales tax for their clients. And what he did is he contacted me after he'd been gone for probably a couple years. And he gave me the story about one of their clients they had to register. They had to register them in just about every state with a sales tax, so streamlined states and non-streamlined states. And he said they went through the process. They knew for the non-streamlined states they're going to have to go to each state's registration system, so they did that. And they would start on one state, and they think they have everything. They move to the next state, and then they find, oh, that state wants something different. So then they go back and do that. So over the course of time, they get registered in all the non-member states. He said then we went to the streamlined system, and we registered for the remaining 24 states. And they said, as it turned out, this particular client needed to register in every one of our states.
Right.
And they said it was almost as though, what's the catch? Because we filled out one application, we put in our name, we put in the FEIN number, we put in the address, the contact. Yeah. That's what they put in. And then we went down and we checked the boxes for all the states we wanted to register in. Now, because this business hadn't operated, it was basically a new legal entity, they had to register in them all. But if they had been registered in even a few of the states, there's a spot, all they do is check a box and say, hey, we're already registered in that state. So our states don't set up duplicate registrations, because we obviously don't want to cause that either. But he said then the other thing was, after they registered in the non-member states, and Judy, I'm sure you've probably run into this, you register a business and you sit and wait. How long do you have to wait before you actually get notification from the state that you're registered?
It depends.
And if you're already starting to collect sales tax in that state, you're wondering, okay, am I collecting before I even have a permit? Yeah, I've sent the application in. So with our system, you click the submit button and you immediately are given your SSTID number. It applies for all 24 of our member states, or all the states that you selected to be registered in. And they will then follow up with their own information. But all of our states recognize that once you've submitted your streamlined registration, you are registered in that state. You are free to operate.